For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Officials in Hawaii say 36 people are dead from wildfires fanned by hurricane-force winds of up to 85 miles per hour, which burned parts of a centuries-old town to the ground, forcing people to flee into the ocean for their safety. The town of Lahaina on Maui's west side has been scorched. Video on social media showed dead people on the side of the road as fires ravaged the town and black-gray smoke filled the air. 11,000 people were evacuated Wednesday, mostly visitors. Officials closed the west side of Maui. Here's Mayor Richard Basin.
Tragedy that hits one of us is felt by all of us. These past few days, the resolve of our families, businesses, and visitors have been tested like never before in our lifetime. With lives lost and properties decimated, we are grieving with each other during this inconsolable time.
The catastrophic fires are still burning and the death toll could rise as search and rescue efforts continue today, aided by the U.S. military and Navy. State officials say recovery will be long. Fires are also burning on Big Island in the northernmost part of Waimea. Those fires are reportedly contained. Civil rights groups filed a lawsuit challenging Tennessee's congressional district maps created by Republicans, claiming the maps are gerrymandered districts designed to water down the power of black voters in the state. Democrat State Senator Brenda Gilmore is a plaintiff in the suit filed by the Tennessee ACLU and other legal groups.
The redistricting plan attacked African American voters, both diluting our voices, our vote, and people who look like me and other people of color from electing candidates of our choice. And the legislature did it for the sole purpose of preventing us from coming together to elect candidates who we choose. This racial gerrymandering represented the real steal.
The district splintered Democratic-leaning Nashville into 3 Republican-majority districts that stretch into rural counties to help Republicans flip a seat in last year's elections. The federal lawsuit says the redistricting tactic violated the 14th and 15th Amendments. Republican legislative leaders have argued their maps would hold up to legal scrutiny. An Ecuadorian presidential candidate known for speaking up against cartels and corruption was assassinated Wednesday while leaving a political rally in the capital, Quito. President Guillermo Lasso confirmed the assassination of Fernando Villavicencio and suggested organized crime was behind his slaying, less than 2 weeks ahead of the presidential election. Villavicencio was one of 8 candidates, though not the front runner. Before the shooting, he had said he received multiple death threats from cartels, including leaders from Mexico's Sinaloa cartel. A bloc of West African heads of state, ECOWAS, are discussing their next steps after Niger's military junta defied their deadline to reinstate ousted President Mohamed Bazoum or face military force. At the meeting in Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, chairman of ECOWAS, urged diplomacy, but the junta has turned away most efforts at mediation. Bazoum has been under house arrest with his wife and son since July 26th. U.S. officials said Wednesday they're concerned about the health of the president, who's reportedly running out of food and living in substandard conditions. 9 of the 6 people charged in fake electors' scheme in Michigan to overturn the 2020 presidential election results are set to appear in court today. Of those charged include members of the state's Republican Party's leadership, a Republican former candidate for office, and former elections clerk who was stripped of their duties after the indictment. Prosecutors allege the 16 met secretly on December 14th of 2020 in the basement of Michigan Republican Party headquarters and signed their names to multiple fake certificates, claiming to be Michigan's duly elected presidential electors who could award the state's electoral votes to the candidates they wanted, which was Donald Trump instead of Joe Biden, the candidate Michigan voters actually elected. Each of the 16 so-called fake electors has been charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit forgery, 2 counts of forgery, 1 count of conspiracy to commit election law forgery, and 2 counts of election law forgery. Two of Donald Trump's co-defendants in the case accusing him of illegally hoarding classified government documents at his Mar-a-Lago property in Florida are due in court today. Property manager Carlos de Oliveira is scheduled to be arraigned on charges including conspiracy to obstruct justice. In the case brought by special counsel Jack Smith, valet Walt Nauta is expected to enter a plea for a second time in the case, this time on a new indictment with additional charges handed down last month. Trump waived his right to appear at the hearing. I'm Christina Onnested, reporting for Pacifica Radio.